Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, and entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. Now, today we got a bombshell for you guys that you definitely want to stick around for, because this is information I just got. So before we get into it, make sure you go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. Anyway, let me get into this topic here. So this segment that we're doing right now is totally unplanned. Totally unplanned. I was there drinking my tea. And I was just trying to catch up on some of the sports news, right? Catching up on some of the sports news, see what's being said, reading. And I stumbled upon an audio, right? An audio clip from LeBron James and Anthony Davis yesterday, post the Lakers game after the Milwaukee Bucks. And as you guys know, it was a pretty bad loss that the Lakers suffered at the hand of the Milwaukee Bucks. I think at one point they had the Lakers down by 30 points at one point. Giannis Antetokounmpo totally went off. I think he had 44 points, 14 rebounds. He was sensational during that game, and I don't even think he had a turnover, right? So the Lakers have been struggling all season long, and at this point, I think the Lakers are now down. They're either 2 or 3 games under 500, and they're currently the 9th seed in the Western Conference, which is something that none of us could have predicted. So I stumbled upon this audio, and LeBron James was saying some things in this clip that totally shocked me. Like, I was floored that he was actually saying what he was saying, and for the first time, one could say he was being blatantly honest, right? He was just raw on his opinion about the Lakers. So before we go too far, I want you guys to take a listen to some of the comments that LeBron James made about the state of affairs with the Los Angeles Lakers and his outlook on where he thinks his team could be moving forward. So before we go too far, take a listen to some of the comments that LeBron James had to make to the reporters.
LeBron, I know it's a regular season game, but against the defending champs, does this one just kind of hit different, especially since you guys were kind of looking up at them when they had a 30-point lead on you guys?
Does it hit different in the sense of what?
Does it tell you something deeper about your team compared to?
Yeah, it tells us we ain't on their level. I mean, I'd have told you that before the game started.
Do you think you can reach that level?
Where they are right now? I don't know. Do I think we can reach the level where Milwaukee is right now? No. That what you want to hear from me? No. Oh, yeah, you want to follow up?
Right now, and eventually this season.
I will hope so, but right now, we can't get to where they are right now. I mean, they're the defending champions for a reason. And I guarantee if you would have asked teams coming out of the bubble if they could get to the level that we were playing at, when we won a championship, they said the same thing.
I have to say that I am stunned by his admission, to the media yesterday. I am stunned by it, right? Because if you listen to some of the things that people have been saying out there, you wouldn't think that, oh, this team is so bad. Some people still are holding on to hope. First of all, I think his comments are a clear admission that this team just isn't any good. Despite all of the hopes and wishes and dreams, there's some people out there in the media have been trying to sell people. They've been doing this all season long. I even heard at one point when Anthony Davis came back, I think he had 2 or 3 games where he played well, and they were like, yeah, well, if AD can be playing like this and LeBron comes back and plays like that, then all of a sudden you better watch out for this team. I'm like, what are people talking about? Are you guys just selling hopes and wishes out here, or are you actually paying attention to what is actually wrong with this team? First of all, the problems that the Lakers are having as a team are mind-boggling. I'm going to read off some stats to you, and you're going to understand just how bad and dire the situation is, because this team is not very good and is a poorly constructed team, period. And I'm going to read off some of these stats to you. As we currently speak, I want you guys to listen to what I'm about to say. Sit down if you need to sit down, because these numbers are going to totally floor you. Listen to this. As we currently speak, the Lakers, as a team, are giving up more points to opponents than they themselves are scoring on average for the season. As we currently speak at this particular point with 55 games played, roughly, opponents are scoring 112.6 points per game on the Lakers. The Lakers as a team are scoring 111 points per game. Essentially, the Lakers have been outscored the entire season. I've never seen a stat like that from a team that supposedly supposed to be a championship contender after they win 1 or 2 games, you have some people jumping off the cliff talking about, oh, yeah, this happened and this happened. They could be right back in the hunt. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Now, first of all, that's just the beginning of it. Let me read you guys some other team stats about the Lakers here to really kind of nail down this point that I'm trying to make here. That's the first part. The second part is this. The second stat is this. The Lakers right now, as we currently speak, rank number 19th in three-point shooting percentage. In the NBA, in this NBA where teams are averaging at least 25 threes per game. When Jordan played in the 1997-1998 season with the Chicago Bulls as a team which they were averaging 14 three-point attempts per game as a team. The league today is shooting more threes. And if you cannot shoot threes in this NBA today, it's going to be very difficult for you to stay in games. That's another stat. Here's another stat. The Lakers rank second to last in free throw shooting percentage at number 29. Second to last. Of the 30 teams, they're the 29th ranked free throw shooting percentage team. And Russell Westbrook does have a role to play with that. He's not the only one. But go look at his free throw shooting. Last night he shot 57%, if I'm not mistaken, from the free throw line. So that's that. They rank number 26 in turnovers, and they're the 17th ranked defense. Now that particular stat takes a whole bunch of things into consideration. But the moral of the story is these are damning numbers. These are horrendous stats. Horrendous. So when people are up there selling wishes and dreams, you see Anthony Davis play 2 or 3 games, have 2 or 3 solid games in a row. That has nothing to do with the real issues that this team is having. You are just focusing on offense, my friend. The Lakers' primary problem is their defense. They don't play good defense. So I don't know why people are focusing on how many points LeBron and Anthony Davis can score. The Lakers' problems are not scoring. It's not scoring. Their problems is defense. They don't play defense. And I think his comments are also a clear admission that the Russell Westbrook trade just has not worked out. And I think what the Lakers season is turning into is what I've always said it's going to turn into. I've been saying this for the past few weeks. I think now the Lakers season has gone from trying to win a championship and win games to now it's turned into let's focus on individual accomplishments. That's all the season is distilled down to at this particular point. That's what it is. If you listen to people out there like Nick Wright, the Nick Wrights of the world, that's all they want you to focus on. They don't want you to focus on the fact that this team is not performing well. They don't want you to focus on the fact that him and some others out there were the ones that felt that this team was going to be good. Now he wants you to focus on individual accomplishments, as if that's what the whole Laker Nation is supposed to be about. Maybe that's what you guys signed up for. Maybe that's the reason you guys are buying tickets, season ticket holders. Maybe you're just going there to see players hit individual milestones. But that's what he wants you to, that's what he wants you to focus on. He won't mention the fact that there's no point in time in NBA history when Michael Jordan was playing with 2 top 75 players and his team was struggling to make the playoffs. Forget about making it to the championship round. Make the playoffs. As we currently speak, the Lakers are the 9th seed in the Western Conference and they're in jeopardy of missing the playoffs. And this guy wants to talk about stats, individual accomplishments. And he can't have it both ways because on one hand, he wants us to say, well, LeBron is putting up great individual numbers at his advanced age. He should be he should be lauded for that. But then the moment the team does bad, he wants you to say, well, how can you blame him? He's 37 years old. So which one is it? Which one is it? When he plays well at his age, he's great. But when they lose, you say, well, it's not his fault. He's old. So which one is it? And people like this want to have it both ways. I think at this particular point, this is a shocking admission, in my opinion, that the captain of the ship essentially is saying, ladies and gentlemen, this ship is going down. For him to say that we cannot get on their level right now, we're not on their level. That's a shocking admission. And it flies in the face of all of this hot air that people in the media have been throwing out there. It flies in the face because if the captain of the ship is saying we're just not any good, we cannot compete with the Milwaukee Bucks, who some people don't even think they're the number one, the odds-on favorite to win it all. Some people probably had the Nets, the Warriors, or some other team. If he thinks that they're not on their level, then we need to sit back and really analyze this thing again. But to me, I think it's shocking, and I think the entire thing is a disaster. at this point. So my question to you, what are your thoughts and opinions on what LeBron James had to say and some of the things that I had to say? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro. Wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.